Welcome in, guys. We're going into full detail about what we installed into the Triton today. Even better though, we have the dude, Elliot himself, owner and operator of Falcon Overland, to come in and give us the full rundown of the jargon, because that is above my pay grade.
How's it going? I'm that dude from Falcon Overland that Jono was talking about. Jono's installs a pretty cool one. You get to a point where you can either spend a bit more and go for a full system that will be able to do everything that you could ever want it to, or spend a bit less and have a few more compromises. So the first thing we've gone that extra mile for is a 315 amp hour battery. He could have gone for 100 amp hour and got away with it, but going that 315 amp hour, it allows him to be able to run a 1500 watt inverter, or if he wanted to upgrade it later to a 3 kilowatt inverter, this battery will be able to run it too. It also means that he can have stuff in the fridge and he goes up tramping for 5 days and comes home back to the vehicle and everything in the fridge is still frozen. Really recommend, if you can, go the 315 amp hours. And to put it in perspective of what 315 amp hours is if you look at this old battery that I got out of a camper van, it is so heavy and it is 95 amp hours. The difference between lead acid 95 amp hours and lithium is lead acid / AGM is it can only use 50% of the power. If you go lower than 50%, you permanently ruin your battery. So this one here is 95 amp hours, but you can only use half, so 42.5 amp hours. So you compare that to this lithium battery, dimensions, width and length is the same. The lithium's slightly higher, this one's heavier, but this has got 8 times as much storage capacity. But also, it's got heaps more power, because this can discharge at 200 amps continuous. Which is enough to run a 3 kilowatt inverter. This here can only discharge at something called 0.2C, which basically means 5 times less its capacity. So 95 divided by 5 is basically close to 20 amps. So this can discharge at 20 amps continuously, this can do 200. So if we were to run that same 3 kilowatt inverter, we will need to have 10 of these at what? I don't know, 30 kilo each, 300 kilo, and that will be equivalent to this battery here. So these days it's a no-brainer, plus SETL are very high quality and they're very good value for money. You can't go past a 315 amp hour battery. Take that out of the shot, ruin my back at the same time. Lithium batteries are great, but because they're so great, they come with some other disadvantages. One of which is, if you were to short these 2 terminals out here, it can produce 10 to 15,000 amps, which will completely blow and continue to flow current through typical mega fuses. So mega fuses can interrupt, which is what we call it, 2,500 amps. So this is 15,000, no chance. It's basically going to turn itself into an arc welder and the current will still flow. So this is why you need lithium fuses. Now, these guys here can interrupt 20,000 amps. So the Class T fuses get thrown around quite a bit. Class T is great. These aren't Class T, but they're similar. They have that 20,000 amp interruption current. So any fuse that has that. Mega fuses, A&L, MRFB fuses, the common ones, don't have that interruption current. We've made a real nice fuse holder that's just super easy to mount. You literally have got some adhesive backing that you peel off, and then you just place it on here, bolt down there, and you've got a lug that goes on the end of that to your loads. And then nice and protected. Let's move on to how do we distribute the power around the vehicle. It has been a bit of a hard thing to do in the past. However, I've made it really simple and made a bunch of modules that's just plug and play. So all you need to do is run your positive from the fuse here to the top rail of our bus bar system and the negative to the lower one. Inside here we've got an isolator to be able to isolate your whole system when you're gone away from your vehicle for a couple of days or months or whatever. And we've got a battery management system built in. Now, what a battery management system does is it works out how much energy flows into your battery and how much flows out of it. And it works out your state of charge based on that. Unfortunately, with lithium batteries, the voltage curve is so flat that you don't know if you're at 80% full or 20% empty. So that you have to have a shunt to be able to tell you that. Plus, it's also nice to know that, oh, my solar's bringing in 20 amps today, or oh, my air fryer's drawing 180 amps. I can only run that for another 1 hour, for example. And then we also have our Falcon distribution and switching module, which distributes your power to everything. So for example, all you need to do is add a positive and negative to here and run it straight into your inverters, positive and negative. Super simple, it couldn't be easier, and the fuses are already there ready to go. Then let's say we wanted to add a light, for example. Let's say this guy here. All you need to do is strip your wire back. I like to put these things on called ferrules. They just make for a cleaner install and no stray wire can go anywhere, but they're not required. You just push them in, bottom and top, put a fuse in, and this light will go. Let's say you wanted it switched, no worries, put it on this side, and then the hardest thing to do is to line these stickers up, and you just press it on to turn your light on. Obviously we don't have any power, so it won't work. What about these guys here? These are some bigger connectors. These do 60 amps each. And these guys are designed for your larger outputs, like your chargers, like compressors or something, anything larger. So let's talk about chargers. This is a Red Arc BC-DC charger. Now, what a BC-DC charger does is it takes your alternator power and converts it into a format that lithium batteries can handle. You can't just hook up with a voltage sensitive relay to a lithium battery because the two chemistries just don't work that well together, and also you'll pull way too much current off your alternator and you can fry your alternator because these guys love power. They will pull so much power off your alternator that it can cook it. So simplest thing to do, get one of these BC-DC chargers and it will regulate the power from your alternator to your lithium battery. It also gives the proper charging profile that these guys need. These guys also take in solar, so this yellow one here for the sun just hooks to the positive of this, and the negative goes down to any of these spare connectors. To hook it up, real simple, the brown one is the output positive, and the black one's the negative. We just push it in and push it in. And these are the best connections you could possibly get in a four-wheel drive application. These were originally designed for the German railway. The Germans, they love to over-engineer things. They previously used to have, torque connections like your standard, and every week they'll have somebody go around all of the trains and re-torque every single connection because of that perfection. However, these guys came out with these connectors which are spring-loaded, and no matter how much vibrations you get, this connector is impossible to remove. Your whole vehicle will fall to pieces before this connection comes undone. Cool, so that's how we charge our vehicle. Now let's go to our inverter. So your inverter can produce a ton of power. So they can't run off these connectors here because these are only rated up to 60 amps. Whereas your inverter, a nice easy way to do it is if you've got a 1500 watt inverter, divide it by 10, so you're 150 amps. And that accounts for losses and going over a little bit. So if we wanted to run 150 amps, these guys won't cut it. You need to use this larger output here with a mega fuse. These can go up to 400 amps. so you can run a 3 kilowatt inverter, no worries. Now, what does an inverter do? Now, an inverter allows you to be able to run your home appliances while you're out camping. So it allows you to be able to run, you know, your coffee machine, your air fryer, charge your laptop. Did I mention hairdryer? You know, whatever you want from home, you can run that out while you're camping. So what you need to do is have a look at your home appliance and see how much watts it draws. If your inverter has a higher amount of watts, then you can run it. Obviously you can't run everything at the same time like you can at home, but at least you can run everything you want to. The purpose of the inverter is also to convert it from 12 volt from this DC battery power to 240 volts AC power. So basically allows you to be able to run your appliances off your battery. But overall, this is a really good future-proof system that will be able to, you know, stand the test of time, and Jono won't be doing another install in the Triton for, well, forever really. He will not outgrow the system. Another nice thing I didn't mention is always make sure you've got more outputs than you're currently planned on using, because you don't know what you want to do down the track. You know, you might only have 4 lights at the moment, but you want to add another 2. So with this system, super easy to either remove or just add a new one in, a new circuit, add a fuse, and that's done. So simple. Another nice thing is this is a modular system, so if it doesn't work on the left hand side, you can just swap it over to the right hand side. So super simple, isolator comes off and then just goes on the right, and then re-torque the bolts down, and it's good to go. These are all some nice nifty end caps to be able to protect your wires. Super simple.
So that's a far more detailed rundown than I could ever piece together. So for looking at the actual installation video, check down in the description below or the iCard up in the corner. Otherwise guys, this is going to future-proof me for a long, long time. I might as well get the truck out there and go use it. See you on the tracks.